Hey guys, it's Deborah with Pinching Pesos. I know you thought I disappeared, right? But it's time for They Paid What? Sales update time. And I know I haven't done a video in 2 weeks. I've been in like this funk and I finally got through it where my mental attitude was okay, but I couldn't get myself to actually like be productive. I hadn't listed anything in weeks. And last night I finally listed some things and I actually sold some of those things that I listed and I had some other sales, and so I'm getting back in the groove of things. I go through these kind of phases of, where I just get really down in the dumps and I don't feel like doing anything. And one of the unfortunate things about working for yourself, well, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, is that whenever you don't feel like doing something, you don't have to. It's not like, a regular job where if I don't go to work or I go to work and I don't do anything, then I'm going to get fired. Um, I'm not getting fired here. So it's kind of enabler in that if I don't feel like it, then I don't. And that is something I've been battling with for a really long time. And I really wish that I could get over that and just fight through it, but I don't. And I'll just sit here and not do anything. So that's what I did. And my sales show it. My month of November was one of the worst months that I have had on record in the past year or more. It was pretty bad. And honestly, if I was supporting my household on my business, we wouldn't have been able to pay the rent and we wouldn't have eaten. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run through my sales that I had. This is going to be a really long video because it's 2 weeks worth of sales. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like my profit margins for the first week that I missed, which would have been the 15th through the 21st of November, came out at $201.38. The second week that would have ran the 22nd through the 28th, it's like add 7, Deborah. Came out at, where did I end? I ended on the Traverse game. Second week, so running from the 22nd through the 28th, only came out at $128 profit. So for a 2-week period, we're talking $528 in profit. That's still not bad per se. If this was like, if I'm looking at hours put in, that would be part-time income. Not bad, but it's way less than what I'm used to. My 30-day numbers are about $600 or $700 under my normal 30-day running totals. So let's go ahead and get started and I'll show you what sold. So first things up, this is a surprise one that you want to kind of log into your brain as something to pick up. Electronic Catchphrase Junior, used out of the box, will sell for $25, $30, $35 in some cases. It is not uncommon to get well over $20 for this item. This sold, I believe, in 2 days after listing. A friend of mine just recently picked up a new in the box catchphrase like this, electronic catchphrase. Those are going on Amazon for well into the $60, $70 range, new in the box. So yeah, just if you see them, pick them up. This is very popular, easy to sell, easy to ship, and always normally fairly cheap to buy. I paid $1.99 for it. Next up is I did sell one of these. I had bought these on clearance at Walgreens they were supposed to be $6.24. I bought 6 of them. When I looked at my receipt, I think he may have charged me 25 cents. I go ahead and calculate it at $6.24 when I'm doing my profits and losses, just because I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell. But I think that I got way, way, way undercharged. This went for, it's on sale right now, but it went for $19.95 plus shipping. And even if I said, you know, the $6.24, it still would have came out profit-wise at $9.83 after everything. Next up was another one of the Selfie Booths. I did sell out of my Selfie Booths. They are gone. I don't think I made any profit on those because I had one, and this is why I don't do RA for like Amazon whenever it's a higher dollar item with lower profits. This would be the same kind of scenario where I had 8 and I was profiting about $10 or $15 on each one, depending on where it was being shipped to, because I did have free shipping on it. But I had one that went to Europe. The lady paid $60 in shipping. And no, I'm sorry, 40 some odd dollars in shipping. So her total was $70 for this. And she claimed that it that the photo made it look better than it was. This is a stock photo. This is what the manufacturer says that it's supposed to look like. So the listing has a stock photo, and then I also did have pictures of the actual box itself. This is my picture of the box. And she said it, you know, it was crappy and whatever, and wanted to return it. Well, I'm not going to pay $40 return shipping on something. And so I lost the money she paid for it, which is not really a loss, but I lost the shipping on it, which was $40 and some change. And it was straight up $40 and some change. I didn't get any kind of discount on it. It went priority mail. Plus the cost of the item. So you can say that I lost about 50 bucks. And I was only profiting like $10 or $15 on each one. So that one item pretty much took away 80% of the profit that I had made on these Selfie Booths. So I probably got away, I maybe made 20 bucks on all 8 of them. Like, yeah. And that's what happens with people that do Amazon, where it's a higher dollar item that they're only making like $5 or $6 on, and then they get like one return, and it kind of eats all the profit for like 5 of them. So next up was the power adapter to the race car set that I bought way back in July when I first started shopping again, August 1st I think it was, or July the 1st. I had bought this set and I didn't realize it was missing the cars. So I went ahead and parted it all out, and I've sold little different pieces of it, and this was the power adapter. I had paid $7.99 for the entire set. This sold for $9.95 plus shipping. And there's that other Selfie Booth. Then I sold the barrel and the little barrel and cap. That sold for, oh, I sold that the adapter for $8.46 plus shipping. I guess it was on sale. The barrel and cap went for $14.41 on sale. I believe I had it priced at $16.95. I am currently sold out of those. I'm also sold out of the screw with the piston. If you have those, go ahead and list them. This is the time for this item. People make these for Christmas every year. They find them, they get them out of their cabinets and realize their part is broken, missing, whatever, and they can't make their traditional cookies. I had a customer sending me an email asking me when I was going to get the screws back in stock, and I'm like, I don't have any right now. And I was selling those for $13.95 for the screws and the little screw and the thing there. If you have these, I would strongly suggest that you part them out. You will make a lot more money that way than trying to sell it whole, because people have these. Generally, somebody's not starting a new tradition with these. They already have these machines and they're trying to get the parts for them. So whenever they're looking for something, and this is how you can sell items that are parts when you could buy the whole machine for cheaper. It's because people look up the keyword part. They're looking for replacement, keyword replacement, such and such, or the machine parts. they look up those keywords, and if you have a whole unit, you're obviously not going to have the keyword replacement, and you're not going to have the keyword parts. So your listing's not going to come up. So they're not going to know that you're selling the whole machine for 20 bucks. And they'll go ahead and buy my one little piece for almost the same amount of money as you're selling your whole unit for. So that's kind of how, because people think, well, why wouldn't somebody buy the whole machine for less than just getting the part? And a lot of people have suggested, oh, well, maybe people just don't want the whole machine, which is true. But more than likely, it's because they don't even see your listing, because it's not coming up when the person puts the word replacement, blah, 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 or this and this parts. So there you go. There's a tip of the day. Bling, bling, you can stop watching now. No, I'm just kidding. Keep watching. So next up, oh, and somebody told me when you search replacement, wherever super shooter parts, that I'm the #1 Google search result. So I thought that was really cool, and I looked it up, and I was. My listing was the #1 search result on Google for that. And that's because these listings are good till canceled, so they don't go away. If you're good till canceled, your listing will stay the same, and it will get into Google after about 2 months. You'll start getting up in the ranks that you're actually going to show up. So yeah, that's another benefit of good till canceled. I know people talk about don't do good till canceled, but you'll never get in Google, like your actual listing come up in Google if you're not doing good till canceled. So anyway, second tip of the video. Next up was the Starbucks barista replacement filter basket, and it was really interesting. A lady sent me a message saying that her mother, whom had passed away, had left her, like it was one of the last things she had gotten her, or it was her mother's machine, but it was missing the basket. And so she was thrilled that I had this basket for her to buy so she could use her mother's Starbucks machine. So I know parts are normally kind of boring, but that was a really nice story. I had paid somewhere around $6.99 for this entire machine. I've already sold majority of the different parts, and there was the basket. It was on sale. It went for $8.46 plus shipping, and it had a nice story to go along with it. Made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I bought these Clark's desert boots. I paid, I believe, $8.99 for them. They sold on best offer for $40 plus shipping, and they sold really quickly. They actually went, I thought they went international, but this isn't showing international shipping, but I could have sworn they did. They went, oh, that's why they didn't go international. They went through a ship freighter. So it was an international purchase, but it didn't, it got shipped within the United States. Ta-da! Also, this baby cook unit, I've talked about these before. I always pick them up if I see them. They're fairly expensive machines. You know, they're, for what they are, I think they're expensive. I can normally find them for anywhere from $4.99 to $6.99 range, and I always part them out, and the parts seem to sell fairly quickly on the things that are necessary for the machine to work, like the chopping blade, or the lid, or the steamer basket, or the pitcher, because the one thing about the pitcher is that it's hard plastic, and if you drop that thing one time, it'll crack. It is not a durable plastic. It is like a hard, kind of thin plastic, and it will get a crack in it. So I had bought this machine for, it was fairly recently, there it is, $4.99. Bought it for $4.99, sold the chopping blade for $14.95 free shipping, and it's shipped with like 4 ounces, so really cheap. Next thing was this light. I bought this light for $6.99. It's one of those daytime natural lights, like a light therapy light, or they're really good for crafting because they have like true light. or like tattoo artists. So this went for, it's on sale. It went for $25.46 plus shipping, and I got a really good feedback on it already. The person was very happy. I finally sold the last of the Dulce Gusto machine. It was one of like this, the Melody machine, and I had already sold the base. I had already sold the little cap. The little caps that go on the tank, you can sell those for $14.95. So I sold the tank. It went international. It was on sale. It went for $16.96 plus shipping. You can see it was $17 in shipping. So that unit I bought because it was red, and red is very rare. If you have a whole machine, I would list it on Amazon. The rate for the red Dulce Gusto machine Melodies on Amazon is a lot of money. I know it's in the $100 plus range. Let's see. Dulce. I paid $12.99 for the entire unit. And it got parted out into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. This got returned, and I was kind of glad that it did because it was never supposed to be $9.95. This was vintage Volvo Penta notepad set, and it has all of these like boat parts on it. And it's just not around. There's just nothing like this around, and I originally had this price for $39.95. Thought maybe somebody that worked for them built those, maybe somebody that was, you know, designing them might really want it. But when I had put my store on auction for $9.95 and the whole store was on auction, these got relisted at the auction price. They were not supposed to be $9.95. Well, the guy bought them on sale for $8.46. And before they even got to him, said he wanted to return them because they were too big for his holder. Now, it clearly states that they are 4x4x4, but he didn't notice that apparently, so I told him to reject the package, so he did. I paid $2.99 for that cube. Last Selfie Booth. We already talked about those. Okay, and then I've been slowly selling off the pieces to this nativity scene. And this was something that I should have bought RA that I didn't whenever I originally purchased this. And I bought this back like in April or March. It was fairly early in the year. And I was looking them up and they really just weren't drawing a lot of money. Toys R Us had them listed on eBay for $14.95 free shipping for the whole set, brand new. And I had contemplated at that time buying a whole bunch of them and just holding on to them, but that's not really my business model. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that business model, it's just not mine. And so I didn't end up purchasing them, but now they're going for like $39.95, and it would have been a really easy just kind of store it up for 6 months and then flip it for more than double your money. Fairly easy, you know, transaction. But I've been selling the little pieces. The first thing that sold originally was Little Baby Jesus. I sold the Wiseman, those 3 little guys right there. They went for, and Joseph. It was all in the same transaction. It wasn't the 3 Wiseman. It was just the one of the Wiseman, the one right there in the teal. And then Joseph. And so it was $8.42 plus shipping on that one. I had paid, like I said, $2.99 for this entire set. And then I also sold up here somewhere. Maybe it wasn't this week. It was last week, so it'll be next week's video. So yeah. So maybe I should have bought them when they were $14.95, but I didn't. Then I've had these for years. I had originally listed them, and then it was something that fell off, and they just disappeared. The listing was gone, and they went up into the black hole of eBay. So I went ahead and relisted them, and this was a moment that I didn't retake the pictures, I didn't redo anything. I copied and pasted the listings over from Attaway. I've talked about Attaway several times. It is a another seller platform like Bonanza. Attaway will sync with your eBay, and it'll sync your listings, and then it stores them all. So all of your deactivated listings, it keeps them. And so whenever I'm missing something that I know I've listed before, all I do is go into my deactivated listings, do a search for the item, and I copy the pictures, and I copy the description, I copy the title, and I just send it over, and I don't have to actually redo anything from scratch. So these sold on best offer for $10 plus shipping. And I paid $2.99 a pack for them a long time ago. I recently bought these. These are a new buy. I paid $19.99 for them. That was quite a lot for a pair of shoes, but there wasn't any like them that I ran across. So I was like, well, they might be kind of rare, and they're a bigger size. They're size 12 US, and so I took a best offer on them because they were the made in England ones, so they were vintage. For $55 plus shipping. They had to be shipped priority mail, so he paid 60 some odd dollars, $64 I believe, in shipping. And so I ended up making $20 on the shipping because of my shipping discount. It wasn't because I overcharged him, that was just my shipping discount. And you know, plus the $55. So it wasn't a bad transaction, and they weren't listed for very long. And then I sold the replacement blade to one of the Krups machine, and I parted this out, paid $4.99 for the entire unit. I've been selling pieces of it off and on. Okay. I didn't remember still having this, so I thought somebody stole my pictures. Anyway. So the blade went off for $9.95 plus shipping. And I finally sold one of these. Oh my goodness, I've had this forever. Back when I used to buy Tossimos, I won't buy a Tossimo machine anymore, ever again. Like, you can have them. They're all yours. The stores have them overpriced. They have them priced at like $14.99, $19.99. I've seen them as high as $24.99. I don't know why. So they're really just not economical to part out. They're just not a machine that I would recommend for parts unless you can find them for cheap. So that sold for $9.95 plus shipping. And then there's the other part to the little baby cook. That one went for $12.50. Free shipping. It weighed like an ounce. So in the box, it was like 5 ounces. Because my boxes are 4 ounces. Okay, this was a bad sell. It wasn't a bad buy. I just paid too much for them. And I didn't think before I took the offer. I had these for a really decent amount of time, a couple months. I had been told about them by another reseller who actually plays softball, who had said, hey, if you ever see softballs, he was talking about it because he had paid a lot of money for some. He needed them for his team. And the very next day, they had 3 bags of them at Goodwill, and there was like 6 in one bag and 6 in another bag, and then like 7 in another bag. And they were $6.99 a piece. For some reason, when I listed them, I didn't think it through that I had paid $21 for these softballs. It didn't click. For some reason, my brain was only thinking $6.99 and not $6.99 times 3. So I listed them. The very next day, I got an offer for, what was it, $30 plus shipping. And I went ahead and took it, and I shouldn't have because I basically made this transaction kind of a wash. Let me see. Where's the softballs? Here they are. My profit on those was $6.10, which I am not in the business of buying things for $21 and profiting $6 on them. That's not my business model. But at least I didn't lose any money. I just was thinking $6.99. I wasn't thinking $6.99 times 3. So the guy got a deal. and I still made a little bit of money, and it was a fast transaction, and it was easy to ship because I just threw the balls in a box and taped it up. Next thing was these little waterproof shoes. I've sold these before, and if I can buy them cheap enough in good condition, I go ahead and do it because they sell really quickly. I paid $2.99 for them, and they sold for $12.95 plus shipping. They were only listed, I think, for a day before they sold. And out the door, easy to do. And they're really easy to ship. They just go in a flat rate padded, and that's it. The last of the Littlest Pet Shops sold. I had gotten them on a trade from another reseller. I had sent them something. They sent me something. You know, that's always fun. I had sold a lot of them that was just random ones with some dogs and some cats that just weren't valuable. And then lizards and frogs and birds and stuff. And it was like 20, I think 21 of them or something like that. And it sold for $39.95. I sold the Great Dane. I sold another little orange cat for $19.95, and then this little striped gray cat went for $19.95 free shipping. So it was a hell of a turnaround for the littlest pet shops that I got basically for free. Selling some more tights. These ones went for $9.95 plus shipping. Like I said, I had paid 99 cents for them, and then I had also actually really only paid like 79 cents for them. I negotiated with the manager that if I bought all of them that were on the end cap, if they could give them to me for a discounted price. And the whole end cap was full, so me taking them off left them space to put more items. So I actually have some more of these that are not as like design. They're actually winter tights. They're like sweater kind of material, so I need to get those listed. I just found them in a box. Replacement pieces for Monopoly Junior. Paid $2.99 for the game. I have already sold the pieces. I sold something else. Can't remember. These are only two things I have left. That better be my listing. Yeah. These are only two things that I have left. Or the people, and then those sold, so nothing left besides just the little people, the movers. So $4.95 plus shipping. This, the lady ended up getting for free. Oh, shoot! I was supposed to send the letters. I didn't even send the blocks, and she didn't even say a thing. Oh my goodness. I sent the... Wow. What a messed up transaction this was all around. Alright. I originally bought this entire Leapfrog Phonics railroad set. It's been discontinued for about 10 years now. I paid $3.99 for it at Savers. I think somebody mispriced it because I know how Savers is. I mean, this box is huge. There's no way they would have priced it $3.99. I had it sitting in the shed for a really long time. When I originally got it, I had tested it and it worked, but then it was sitting out in the shed for about a year. Brought it in finally when we cleaned the shed like a month ago and listed the parts. And I didn't retest it on the track. I just turned it on, made sure it still worked, and then sent it on its way. And it sold for a very good price, and this is the market price on these. So if you see them, go ahead and get them. $39.95. The lady got it, and she said that it didn't work all the way, that it would just stop. And so I did some research on it, and apparently that is a known issue with those engines, that in the battery compartment, it's not designed well, and so the battery can get where it's not getting a good connection, and then the train will just stop working. So I sent her that information. I said, you know, would you like a partial refund on it, or do you want to just go ahead and return it? And she said, I'd just like to go ahead and return it. So I said, okay, no problem. Go ahead and keep it. And I was like, I have no use for a train that doesn't work. You know, I'm sorry if your little one was disappointed that the train didn't work when they got it, because I know how kids are, they can get excited. I said, go ahead and keep it, and I've refunded all of your money. Then a day later, I get a message saying, oh, I cleaned out the battery compartment and it works fine. I'd like to go ahead and pay you. And I went ahead and thought about it, and I put a post over in the $1,500 room because I wasn't really sure what to do, but I didn't feel comfortable asking for her to pay. But I just wanted to see what people's thoughts were. And it was kind of half and half. And I went ahead and sent her a message, and I said, look, I'm not going to make you pay for something that you had to fix. You originally wanted to return it, and then you fixed it. I'm not going to make you pay for something that you had to fix. Consider it my gift to you, and, have a happy holiday. She said, thank you very much, big exclamation point, on with our day. So now I'm looking at it. I didn't even send her these blocks. I only sent the train. I don't know. This was just a messed up transaction all around. So maybe I can list the blocks that I didn't send her and kind of make my money back. I didn't really lose anything besides the shipping, which was quite a lot. This train wasn't that big. It was only, less than a foot long? $11 to ship it. I couldn't believe it. And it was like 2 inches too long to fit properly because you can't take the pieces apart. They are screwed together. 2 inches too long, and it didn't curl enough for me to put it in a regional box. So $11 to ship it. I lost plus, the $3.99 I paid for it, which is no big deal. Ended up losing $15 essentially, and was just not a good transaction. But she was okay. Everything worked out, and she got her train working. So, whoop whoop. I can't believe she didn't say anything about the blocks that she didn't get. She paid for blocks. I guess all she wanted was the train. The second set of the Peanuts Merry Christmas cards also went for $10. I don't know if the person looked in the completeds and saw that I had accepted a $10 offer before, because that's what they offered me, and I went ahead and accepted. This I had bought for myself at the Goodwill computer store. I thought it might fit my Galaxy tablet, but it does not fit a normal Galaxy like Tab 3 or 4 or any of them. It only fits the original Galaxy Tab 7 inches. So I went ahead and listed it, and it sold. I was really surprised because you would think that the original Galaxy Tab would be kind of obsolete at this point, but somebody needed the keyboard. So there we go. I got my money back. Because this was an as-is item. Normally you can take things back to the Goodwill computer store. This one was an as-is item that I wasn't able to return. Okay. Oh, tip number 3 for the video. Okay. I had bought this whole unit, which I sold the pieces off of it already, and this was the last thing that was left. I couldn't sell the carafe because I didn't notice the carafe actually had this huge crack, somewhere on the base somewhere. And so I parted it all out. The lid is actually essential to this unit because it's one of those pressure ones, and you know how coffee makers are that have the pressure push on the bottom, is that your coffee won't brew without the pressure on it. The release valve doesn't get pressed, so you can't brew your coffee if you don't have this lid. So I boxed it up and shipped it out, and no tracking. I checked it because periodically I go into my shipping labels and I scroll down and I make sure that it shows they're in transit or they've been delivered. If I see one that just says label created, I'll check on it and make sure that it actually is showing that it's on its way. This one just said label created. Nothing else. Meaning it hadn't been scanned in. And it had been 3 days. So I sent the customer, who was a one feedback customer, a message letting her know, hey, I am tracking your package. I'm watching your order. It apparently wasn't scanned at the post office when it was dropped off, but based off of my experience, these items do normally end up getting scanned when they hit the destination city and should be delivered on time. But if there's any issues, please contact me. But I am on top of this and I am watching your package. I have learned over time that if you have an item that is not showing up, if you simply go to the track your package area, there is a email or text alert section. I don't know what magical trigger this sets off in the system, but if you put in there to track that package and that you want alerts, In less than 24 hours, that package will show up. I have used it numerous times, either putting the tracking, putting the alerts in there, or actually opening up an investigation. For some reason, triggers something in the system, I don't know what it is, your package will show up within 24 hours on the tracking system. It's tried and true. It could be a conspiracy. It could be I'm talking out of my ass, but based off of my experience, that works. So tip number 3, if you have a package that is not showing up as being scanned, go to the USPS website, put the tracking number in. On the right side will be get text or email alerts for that package. It'll show up. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but it'll show up. Based off my experience, it has had a 100% success rate. Anyway, this did show up. It has since been delivered. This was a big old Hello Kitty. I bought this for $7.99. It was new with the tag. I was going to send it into Amazon, but I decided to go ahead and list it on eBay in the meantime because every time I tried to do a shipment, this was like the only thing that was going to the warehouse, and I just didn't want to spend $6 to ship it to the warehouse. I went ahead and tried it on eBay because it was selling for about the same price. You can see here, this one sold for a lot less than mine, $47.81. I sold mine for $69.95, free shipping. It fit into a 14 by 14 by 14 box, and I believe it cost me to ship it $16.14. So my profit after fees and shipping and the cost of goods was $37.19, and it wasn't listed very long. I did use the keyword Christmas. It is not a Christmas Hello Kitty, but that sure looks like a Christmas dress to me. So, Christmas! Next, last 2 things. I just bought this. I bought it the week before Thanksgiving. I listed it. I was like, oh, well, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I went ahead and listed it because I was like, look, I have to list this. It was one of the few things that I listed over the, last month. I was like, I have to list this because it needs to sell for Thanksgiving. It did not sell for Thanksgiving. It sold the day after Thanksgiving. So, anyway, I paid $4.99 for it. It's a walnut carving board. You can see it has the spikes in there that holds your turkey or chicken, whatever you want to put on there. And then it has this bar that goes down that also has spikes on there. That cardboard piece is covering up these long spikes that goes into the top, and then you just slice away. So it sold for $49.95 plus shipping. I did lose a little bit of money on shipping because, like I said, I was in a rut and I didn't ship this when I should have. And it was gonna go FedEx, but I didn't ship it on that Friday like I should have, and so it was gonna be, and then Saturday I couldn't find a box that was appropriate for it, and the post office wouldn't open the door. Normally you can go to the back of the main post office and drop things at the truck dock. They wouldn't open the door, so it was late. It should have been shipped on. It should have been shipped out, and it didn't get shipped out until Monday. So I went ahead and shipped it priority mail. And priority mail, because I apparently threw away all my large board game boxes that are flat rate. So it ended up costing me $18 to ship it, I believe. Yeah, $18.33. So I lost a little bit of money on shipping, almost $6. That's okay. I still profited $31.53, and it sold. And last but not least is a game that I've had for a very long time that I bought for Amazon and ended up damaging. One of the cellophane pieces got pulled off the corner right there, got messed up, torn, so I couldn't sell it on Amazon. It wasn't bringing in that much money anyway, so no big deal. No huge love lost. It sold for $14.95. It did ship internationally, I believe. Didn't it? I thought it did. Oh, it went GPS. GSP. I don't know why it went GSP. I would have normally shipped a box like that myself. Because I do all my international shipping myself, unless it's a heavy item because they pay less money through the global shipping program. I think because of the discounted rates that they pay because it all goes over same time or whatever. I think it actually goes FedEx. So I don't know why this shipped global shipping program unless it was going to a country I don't ship to, which is entirely possible. Went to Canada. How bizarre is that? I must have had this listing set up not correctly. Anyway, it did finally sell. Maybe that's why it was sitting for so long, is that it had this exuberant shipping rate on there for no reason. Because it would have shipped for $24 or whatnot if it went regular mail. Anyway, that's all my sales. On to the eBays. Amazon has been holding me over. I have not shipped a shipment to Amazon since the beginning of November, maybe? I don't remember. I can look and see. I have not shipped a shipment since I had a shipment that was received on the 17th. I have a box, this one, right here, on the 18th. I was in such a funk, I didn't even send it in. Look, it is labeled, it is packaged, everything's in it, and I couldn't even bring myself to put a label on the outside and send it to Amazon. That's how much in a funk I was. Isn't that sad? That's awful. But I'm better. I did start back eating very low carb. I'm on a low carb, high fat diet, and it works best for me. For some reason, with carbs, if I eat junky food, and I'm not a real junk food eater. We don't fast food a lot. I don't eat cake and cookies and stuff. I'm not a sweets person. I didn't get fat eating sweets. But if I eat a lot of kind of carby, kind of junky, kind of carby foods, it affects how I feel. And it affects my weight, but it definitely affects how I feel. So I went back a couple of weeks ago and started, like 10 days ago, and started eating back where I just kind of cut out bread and cut out rice. No pasta, no rice, no bread, no anything that's breaded. Just fairly low carb. And I feel so much better. I am so much happier. And I finally, like I said, I got out of my mental funk, and it took me a little bit to get past my work funk where I wasn't wanting to work. At least I was happier, but I wasn't getting any work done. So now I'm on par. I did listing last night. I was listing last night, and I will be listing today. I bought some pallet rejects from another reseller, and they arrived on Friday, and I went through them, and I listed some of the stuff last night, and 3 of them already sold, and I only listed like 7 things, so that's a pretty good percentage. I have 5 boxes of stuff that I need to go through and take pictures of and list, and that I bought as pallet rejects, and get back into business, y'all. Business. Anyway, and then on another topic, thank you everybody that came out for the premiere of the Reseller Stew. That is the new all-female reseller panel. There are some amazing ladies that I've gotten to come and be on the panel. I am so honored. We have Jenny Benny. We have April Wynn Buchanan of the Reseller Learning Curve. We have Margaret, Texas Gal Treasures. And we have Robin of Pink Knees Picking. All of the ladies sell on multiple different platforms. So we have eBay covered. We have Amazon, Etsy, Poshmark, Craigslist, Facebook, Instagram. There, I mean, pretty much if you can sell on the platform, one of the ladies on the panel sells on it. We even have a personal shopper that puts together shopping packages, clothing packages, and sends them to her clients. So I am stoked at how well this has turned out. We had an amazing group of viewers that came out on Thursday for the premiere. It is on 11 Central Time, and it will either be on Tuesday or Thursday or both, depending on who I can get to come on with me, because as you know, as women, and I know I keep hearing, why do you keep talking about that the women have such a different life? Women are different than men. Plain and simple. The majority of the time. So, we have a lot of different hats that we wear, and I don't know if I can get somebody to come on with me twice a week. We'll see. But I got some busy ladies that they're just awesome. I'm so excited the way it turned out. The show was received very well. We had over 50 live viewers. The show's only been on YouTube for 4 days, and it's already over 500 views and almost 100 thumbs up. So I am so excited about what I was able to get these ladies to come and join me to do, and I hope you all take a look at it. Give me feedback. You know, I'm very receptive for feedback. So that way we can kind of keep the show fresh and informative. I mean, it's a totally informative type of show. Not a lot of BS. Not a lot of it's an hour, and it's packed hour. So anyway, check it out. It's on my channel. It is in the playlist for resellers too, but there's only one thing in there. Anyway, I know this was a really long video, but I don't care. It's my channel. I'll make it long. If you don't want to watch it, there's a button that's like a little X like this, and you can always close it down, or you can keep watching and give me thumbs up, sis. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't do my video on time, but I'm out of my funk. Ain't funky. We're fresh and clean over here. No more funk. Bye. Love you guys. You thought I was gone, but I'm not. Bye. No, I forgot to tell you about Amazon. The week of the 15th, my sales were $371. I had a net profit of $243. I had some fairly low-priced items that sold for way more money than should be practical. So my profits were more than the normal 50% that they are. And then the week of the 22nd, things were more on par. I had $424 in sales. Profits were $231. So not bad. We're looking at $500 in profit on Amazon. And it was, what, $328 on eBay. So $828 in profit for that 2-week time period. Okay, I'm really gone now. Bye!